Celebrities and footballers lead a different life to the rest of us, in so much as they can't nip down to the shop for a pint of milk without getting bombarded for selfies. What happens when their lives intertwine though? Let's take a look at 9 times celebrities and footballers enjoyed SPATS. Wayne Rooney, FRANKIE COCOZZA. Remember FRANKIE COCOZZA? If not, and I really wouldn't expect you to, he was that 18-year-old kid who shot to fame on the X Factor 6 years ago for about 10 minutes, all because he had a few names tattooed on his arse, couldn't sing to save his life, and got booted off the show for shoving some illegal drugs up his nose. Sensible lad. In December 2011, a few weeks after chucking away his golden opportunity in life, he took to Twitter in a desperate bid to stay relevant. Celebs that look like they stink? Not really a celeb, but I bet his pits are stinking along with his breath. Wayne Rooney. It was a tweet with all the humour, wit and intelligence of a wet sock, but it was enough to lure in the England captain. Sorry, who are you again? Oh yeah, I remember, you're the kid who was on X Factor who couldn't sing. COCOZZA then replied, "Knew I'd hit a nerve, I don't like you at all." Reports are unconfirmed, but I'm guessing that Rooney spent the next 6 years in therapy after sustaining such horrific burns. Victor Anichebe, Kit Harrington. Ever wonder what it must be like to be so famous that you can have Premier League footballers requesting selfies? Kit Harrington is one of the most recognisable faces on television right now, playing Jon Snow in the hit television series Game of Thrones. An avid Manchester United fan, he probably knew all too well who Victor Anichebe was, and that was probably why he decided to snub him for a selfie. The Sunderland striker, then at West Brom, took to Twitter to voice his disgust. Bumped into Kit Harrington and Rose Leslie at my hotel, and being a big Game of Thrones fan, asked nicely for a pic. Shame that they refused and felt to act the way they did. I would never decline someone a picture, as without the fans, we are nothing. Victor, have you checked the attendances at Sunderland lately? I hope Jon Snow really is dead now in Game of Thrones, so he may not have got a selfie for Instagram, but it's alright Victor, you're not the one who's accidentally f***ing your own aunt. Jamie O'Hara, Jedward. There comes a time in some footballers' careers when they've gone from playing Premier League football every weekend to arguing with Jedward dressed in pyjamas surrounded by similar nobodies in a celebrity Big Brother house that they realise they f***ed up somewhere along the line. Jamie O'Hara was 30 years old when he entered the house at the turn of the year. Good to see he was making the most of his talent instead of chasing the easiest buck. Jedward, famous for shouting and nothing else, wound him up to the point where he told them, "You're the biggest joke act I've seen in my life, you are just f***ing noise." He continued outside, "They wind me up, I don't feel bad. Who would have thought I'd be sat in this house having an argument with Jedward? What has my life come to?" Well, at least he's self-aware. Aaron Lennon, Liam Payne. Liam Payne may have fathered a child with Ashley Cole's former wife, despite having met the woman when he was a 14-year-old boy, but it was a bunch of Spurs players that he almost ended up in a fight with back in May 2013. Aaron Lennon, Kyle Walker, Tom Huddlestone and Jake Livermore, all of whom have left the club since, were reportedly dining at a VIP club where the minimum spend was $5 a night. Payne, a fitting name considering that's what your ears would experience if you gave one of his tracks a listen, didn't take kindly to the way they were treating the waitress and asked, "What the f*** is going on?" Apparently all 5 foot 5 inch of Aaron Lennon led a spirited defence, with Huddlestone sitting right there. Gary Neville, Noel Gallagher. So you probably shouldn't take a lot of what Noel Gallagher says seriously, unless of course you are his brother and he says he no longer wants to speak to you for the next 10 years. In 2011, Gary Neville quoted Oasis' Fade Away track in a tweet about Man United's 2-1 win over Chelsea. Gallagher's response? "If Mr. Neville continues to use the holy scriptures of Oasis to communicate with the Cockney Massive, I shall be forced to come up to Cheshire in the middle of the night and break into his house. I will then tie him to a chair, make him listen to the best of Simply Red while I pull his tash out one grey hair at a time with my teeth, liberate those Oasis CDs and shit in his man bag. You have been warned." Neville, the big Oasis fan, had actually sent Gallagher a guitar to be signed and received it back with this message: "Dear Gary, how many caps have you got for England? How many do you think you deserved? I'll tell you, none. Lots of love, Noel Gallagher, MCFC." Perhaps not a spat, but not a bad story. Robin Van Persie, Piers Morgan. You couldn't have a list of celebrity spats and not include Piers Morgan, the man who probably has an opinion on which way the toast should be buttered. Now we could reel off a list of high profile Twitter rows he's been involved in, from calling Wayne Rooney Shrek, despite that reference being as dated as the last time Arsenal won the title, and anointing Michael Owen as bench warmer. Again, something which I think happened back in 2004, when Robin Van Persie decided he'd had enough of finishing 4th and left for Man United in 2012. Morgan's Twitter meltdown was reminiscent of a hormonal girl who just found out her boyfriend was cheating. Funny, I really thought Van Persie was different, but he turned out to be just another mercenary, heartless, selfish little shit. Well done Ivan Gazidis, a great bit of business, selling Arsenal's top player to our bitter rivals. Shame on you and the whole board. What a sickening betrayal of Wenger too, the man who stood so loyally behind Van Persie through years of injury. Hashtag Van Purse Strings. Congratulations Samir Nasri, you're no longer the most loathsome ex-Arsenal player in Britain. Good news Cashley, we finally found someone even more money grabbing than you. Van Persie got the last laugh though, sending him a photo at the end of the season addressed to Tears for Piersy. Morgan then admitted, after all the grief I've given Van Purse Strings, he's allowed a whack back. I'll just have to take it on the chins. Jermaine Defoe, Alexandra Burke. Without turning this into a gossip edition of Hello magazine, Jermaine Defoe was once picked apart by an X Factor winner and struggling pop star, his ex-girlfriend Alexandra Burke. 5 years ago, the England international was adjudged to have been cheating with nurse Kirsty Crummy. Great name, by the way. So Burke took a leaf out of Taylor Swift's book and slammed him in her new god-awful track. Now, I won't bother to recite the lyrics because, let's be honest, we've all got lives to get on with, but it's fair to say she wasn't happy. James McClain, Paddy Power. Technically not a celebrity, but James McClain was not best pleased with Paddy Power when they decided to throw their weight behind Floyd Mayweather's manhood at the weigh-in for the Conor McGregor fight. Paddy Power and his wee puppet who thinks they are funny behind their social media accounts. No one even knows your name. Come on James, that's a bit harsh. Hashtag back your own. Paddy Power responded with, yes, we're Irish, but we're allowed to hang out with non-Irish people too. Besides, Floyd's got a great aunt who's half Irish. Similar to Diego Forlan, believe it or not. The inventor of the snake emoji is a proud man tonight. And as always, Fabian Delph wishes that man was dead. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.